Let's get ready to rumble!
So Frank Warren has admitted that finding Tyson Fury an opponent for this summer has been problematic. Andy Ruiz had been the front runner at one stage, but Warren ruled him out due to an excessive financial demand. Now, Tyson Fury on Instagram claims that Ruiz was asking for $20 million. A silly little bastard. And I don't know where he's getting that from. Zhang was a good fight, but Joyce wants his rematch, so that's not happening now. I'm looking to fight anybody, any place. I cannot wait to fight Usyk, AJ. I'm fucking you up because I'm the baddest on the planet. Now, when I heard that, I didn't believe Andy asked for 20 million. I just didn't believe it. Because it's unrealistic. Andy realizes that his last official big fight was losing the Anthony Joshua rematch in December 2019. His two fights since then, he didn't look that good against Chris Arreola. He looked okay against Luis Ortiz, but his market value is not at a $20 million asking price as a voluntary. Who would ask that? Andy disputed the Frank Warren and Tyson Fury numbers. Those are lies. We've never sent an offer with a dollar amount. We would have quickly conducted business if they had, right? We have never received an offer from Tyson Fury. And a lot of people are throwing shade at Tyson Fury, and rightly so. But they're not throwing shade at Frank Warren and Bob Arum, who are enabling a lot of the nonsense Tyson Fury talks. I tell you what, if Frank Warren is going to come out in public and say Andy asked for too much, show a receipt of what he sent. Let's see a receipt, Tyson Fury. Let's keep it real, yeah? Frank Warren and Bob Arum and Tyson Fury are looking for a cheap opponent, an opponent that on paper isn't going to give them much bother, and they're going to pull this off or attempt to pull this off by telling the public, we offered this guy to fight, we offered that guy to fight, and they outpriced themselves. The truth is the truth. Since Tyson Fury's came back, apart from the Dillian Whyte voluntary, they've selected carefully Seferi, Pianeta, Schwartz, Otto Wallin, and Derek Chisora, right? They haven't paid out once for an opponent that the public have wanted to see. Not once. And no, I haven't forgot the three Wilder fights. I haven't forgot them 3 fights. But you can't live off one opponent. And nobody wanted the third fight, by the way. I think Andy should get a good purse, whatever that is. I'm not too sure. Anything between 2, 4 to 5 million is okay for a voluntary. And no, I don't believe Team Fury. Not because I think Andy is trustworthy either, but the way Fury has botched up 2 undisputed fights in the last few years, I just don't believe him, Arum, or Warren. I don't believe what they have to say. In April, Andy Ruiz was saying that he's set to face Tyson Fury. He leaked it. It's official. It's what he said on Instagram. And there were rumors that that fight was going to happen, but it appears that any real negotiation between the two parties never got off the ground. Boxing, in a way, has lost its direction. A lot of people say the Saudis' involvement in the game has almost stopped Western promoters promoting. Everyone's just going to look for the bag in that region of the world. And, you know, it's got the likes of AJ, Wilder and Fury waiting to see what happens in December. You know, we could say the Saudis are not good for boxing, or the misfits or the YouTubers. The facts are is that the real quote-unquote boxing has been eating itself way before any of them elements got near it. I actually believe the Saudis are good for business. If you look at the Saudis' involvement in boxing, a lot of what hasn't transpired has been down to people like Fury and Arum and Warren. Usyk signed his half of a deal to fight Tyson Fury already. Tyson Fury didn't sign his half. Talks broke down and it became a propaganda war that Usyk won, because ultimately, if it's good enough for Usyk, it should be good enough for Tyson Fury. That's how boxing fans see it. Fury and Warren are at odds, apparently. Fury's told Usyk and Krashuk that the fight happens at Wembley, take it or leave it. Bob Arum says the kind of money that both parties want can only happen in Saudi Arabia. Bob Arum reckons that Fury's going to hold out for the Middle East money in December. Bob Arum doesn't know what Tyson Fury's doing. He says it depends how Tyson Fury wakes up. Tyson Fury responded, "Oh, I know what I want." Blah, blah, blah. If you can't give me the fight I asked for, give me my contract back. Tyson Fury is an absolute bore at this point here. So to sum up that situation for now, Aaron recognizes that the money to make a Usyk fight is with the Saudis. But Tyson Fury wants to fight in Wembley. He's made this fight as difficult as possible to make. That's why the talks broke down last time. He doesn't really want the fight. He just doesn't fancy the fight. They're talking about corruption in the sport, robbery. Well, what would the motive have been for ESPN to stump up the cash for this fight, with it being Devin's last fight on his contract? And the way Aaron was saying Lomachenko won, it seems obvious whose side he's taking. Could be Devin's last fight on there, so what would the motivation be? I don't know. It's others saying it's corruption, conspiracy, whatever. I believe Devin won. More consistent with the jab. They didn't prepare for that right hand to the body. They said Devin was a one-trick pony with the jab, but no, he's got the 1-2, and he's got body shots as well. Tough fight, close fight. Loma was closing the gap in the late rounds. Devin should offer Loma a rematch. That's what he should do, but at 140. Loma wouldn't take that. I think it would be a critical error if Loma was to take a fight like that. I think a lot of people have lost track that Devin was the champion going in. It wasn't Loma. Loma tried to old man Devin out of his titles. His work rate wasn't consistent enough. Devin, it could be the reason why he was pushing the fight as hard as he was. You sometimes, when the young guy is fighting the old legend, according to some, I guess he is a legend, you know what I mean? You've got to rip that band-aid off. Where, no, I'm not going to show you that respect. But Devin, it seems like he forgot he was champion and he pushed the fight where he actually didn't need to. And that, at times, made the fight tougher for Devin and made the fight closer than what it potentially could have been. And Loma doesn't have no entitlement to beat Devin. Loma, the rounds he did win, he won them pretty well, but he was trying to steal the decision, wasn't he? You know, them body shots did take a toll. I'm not sure if Devin knew how hurt he had Lomachenko. Lomachenko took long periods off trying to walk off the body shots and get himself set to try and put some punches together and work. I was in no doubt Devin won the fight. I didn't know if he was going to get the verdict, and it was a UD. Loma did the best he could. Devin fought a stupid fight at times, probably a little paranoid that they might steal it from him. Devin is not a brawler, and he should be under no illusion that brawling is not going to serve him well, especially if he plans to move up to 140. Anyway, I'm over it. Some people are talking like it's the biggest robbery in the history of the sport. These people are crazy. Out of their minds. Devin just banked too many of them early rounds, man. And then he took the last convincingly. It's all about Devin. Loma's career is coming to a close. What's the next move for Devin? Shakur Stevenson was in the ring. Is he prepared to move up to fight Devin? I don't think Devin should fight Shakur at 135. I don't. I'd like to see Bob Arum use Lomachenko as a building block for Shakur Stevenson. That'd be very interesting to watch. 16:54 minutes in of this Boxing Beat Weekly. You can hear what I say, and I was right. Devin was never going to get credit for winning this fight. Never. Loma got robbed. Well, Devin's been getting robbed of his due respect. Yeah? Ever since they done that franchise shit and locked him out. Loma should have took that fight back then, when Devin was a little green. But he allowed Devin to season up. And what Devin done out there was enough to get a close decision. I have no sympathy for Lomachenko crying. You guys were supporting the franchise shit. You know, being very cocky. Oh, Lomachenko would beat him anyway. It's not going to be a contest. Well, you found out the hard way. Whether you like the decision or not, you found out the hard way. And I have no sympathy for the Lomachenko fans or Lomachenko. You know, the way I see it is fuck you and a lot of your pound for pound list. I know you don't really want to put Devin on there. So fuck all that shit. Who fucking cares? Highlight reel KO on the undercard scored by the 25-year-old Japanese super flyweight Junto Nakatani. He leveled Andrew Moloney with a tremendous left hook, which he got a good percentage of his body weight behind. Nakatani, he scored a couple of knockdowns, one early in the fight, and in the 12th and final round, The Australian found his feet squared up once too much, and he paid the price for horrible defense, keeping his head on the line, and the left hook tore his eye open and leveled him out on the canvas. Dramatic, a knockout, as you will see this year, no doubt. Hey, Eddie, Eddie put a big show on an island, but he cocked it up, didn't he? And he cocked up that show, bruh. You know what I mean? Well, he didn't cock it up, really. I mean, it was a meeting of triumph and disaster, I guess. You know what I mean? Big time boxing was back in Ireland. Great show, great crowd, great atmosphere, great enthusiasm, some really good fights, but the results went left. The matchmaking didn't hold up. For the house fighters, it didn't hold up at all.
You see, I'm Irish, but I'm not a leprechaun. You want
The Irish Stylie, the Celtic Jazz. Yes, I mean both cards, both sides of the Atlantic. The judges were not doing no home cooking, no cooking for the house fighter. Straight down the middle. James Metcalf, the Scouser, he outpointed Ireland's Dennis Hogan unanimously. Rough and tumble fight, and the referee got it right. Metcalf moves to 24-2-0, while Dennis goes to 31-4 and 1 draw. Gary Cully, 16-0, going into this fight. He took on Jose Felix, a grizzled Mexican veteran, who in hindsight, as Conor McGregor pointed out, 31 knockouts in 40 wins against someone whose chin hasn't been tested or proven. Now, we know Sandor Martin outpointed this guy. Well, I do, because I saw the fight on DAZN. And Felix proved to be tough. At the time, I was wondering how good Sandor was. I was thinking, should he be stopping this guy? Because I wasn't too sure. Sometimes they come from Mexico and you're not quite sure what the pedigree is. But you got to be very careful. It's like handling Semtex, them Mexicans. Like, it might be a false alarm, a non-explosive device, but then you might have a big explosive on your hands as well. That's exactly what it's like. And when he landed that first right hand in the third round and dropped Gary, well, let's address this. The referee, whose name is Emil Tite, tried to get Gary Cully murked in there. Yeah? That first right hand that decked him, he never recovered from it. Then there was a big left hand that rocked him all around the place. Felix had Gary with his back against the ropes, taking full flush shots. And the referee didn't want to stop it. He wanted to give him every chance. And it could have been a dangerous situation. Apparently, Gary Cully's cornerman told Gary to stop bouncing around the ring and cut the ring off early and try and put Felix away. I mean, you guys should never be able to corner another boxer again. Never. If that's what happened.
You know, I had a bit of a row, a friendly row with Conor McGregor because he was like, why'd you put him in with him for? I said, look, you've got to beat kids like that. You know, Tyrone McKenna beat him. Sandor Martin beat him. We're talking about Gary Cully being a world-class lightweight. You have to beat guys like that. And he would have beaten him if he boxed smart and, you know, but it was a devastating defeat. And he's going to learn a lot from that and come back. Maybe I think he needs to look to move up to 140 pounds as well. You know, he looked so tight at the weight, and that was at 138 pounds. So we'll see. But
what's he doing at 138 pounds? 6'2". Listen, back in the days in the hood, we used to live underneath an Irish family. And my dad and the dad of the Irish household used to work together on a building site. And they used to mix up Irish moss with Nestle's milk. Hard back drink that to know. Yeah. Yeah. Only real West Indians and Irish, hardcore Irish West Indians know about them drink there. And Gary Cully needs some Irish moss. Big, elongated, skinny neck, tatted up guy. He doesn't look right at 138. Doesn't look right at 138. Not at all. You know, when you get big events, the coaches can get tested. What's your temperament like as a coach? What made Gary's chief second decide that they're going to go for an early knockout? Was the temptation to please the crowd just too enticing for Gary's coach and they got Gary knocked out? You got to keep your composure. See, when it gets really animated in them arenas or stadiums, you got to keep your composure. And if you don't keep your composure, the margins between victory and defeat are very thin. So, as much as we're having a laugh at Eddie for the matchmaking, it's a similar case to how Lennox Lewis lost his world title, his first world title, against Oliver McCall. After a first round, which not much happened, his trainer, Pepe Correa, who previously worked with Sugar Ray Leonard, told Lennox to go knock this bum out. Oliver McCall, Mike Tyson's chief sparring partner, never took a trip on the canvas in his flipping life. Right? Iron-chinned, built like a brick crap house, and you're telling Lennox to go over there and knock him out like he's non-existent. That right-hand counter floored Lennox. He got back up, wobbled everywhere. Title was gone. And that was Pepe Correa's last minute working with Lennox Lewis. That was it. You blew it. Lennox blew it too, but you blew it. Wembley Arena, 1994. Main event, undisputed light welterweight championship of the world between Chantelle Cameron, the champion, and undisputed lightweight champion Katie Taylor. Katie took the first L of her career. She is now 22-1 with 6 inside the distance. 36 years of age. Chantelle Cameron got the biggest win of her career. She moves to 18-0 with 8 inside the distance. The 32-year-old Cameron was just a little fresher, a little stronger. Came forward behind that thumping jab, worked the body. Katie countered well early. It looked like she was trying to preserve herself for a grandstand finish, but her legs looked a little heavy. Couldn't get them moving as effectively as she has in the past. And although she made a grandstand rally to stay in the fight, ultimately it was Chantelle's night. Very good fight. Excellent strategy and tactics by Jamie Moore and Chantelle. Katie is exercising the rematch clause. Will it be at Croke Park later this summer? We shall see. Was it really a big upset? I don't think it was a huge upset. She was taking a monumentous task. And, she wanted this fight. She called out Chantelle Cameron. She wasn't looking for an easy fight to please the Irish fans. Not that they would have complained, but Katie doesn't take easy fights, and you got to give her a deuce for that. You got to give her a deuce. It was a very good fight. Very good fight. One judge had it a draw. The other had it by 2 points in Cameron's favour. Taylor didn't do no post-fight media. She was distraught at losing her unbeaten record. Jamie Moore, Chantelle's trainer, stupidly, and no disrespect, Jamie, if Katie was already ranked number 1 pound for pound, which I believe she was, then if somebody has just beaten her, then surely that makes her the pound for pound best. No, it doesn't. I mean, what kind of simplistic deduction is that? What? Chantelle Cameron has more accomplishments than Clarissa Shields? I haven't got a pound for pound list, but I wouldn't have Katie Taylor above Clarissa Shields even when Katie was undefeated. And fighters and trainers, they get carried away very quickly after marginal success. They're talking about the rematch is on my terms. What do you mean by that? Conor McGregor wants to sponsor a rematch at Croke Park. That's a big stadium fight, which they're going to pack out. You're talking about you want to bring it back to England and you can't fill out stadiums. Are you crazy? Are you people dumb? If they make outrageous demands, Katie should just say, okay, you go your way. I'll fill out the stadium and you go do what you're doing. I mean, Chantelle already got her way by getting Ellie Scotney taken off the bill because she trained by Shane McGuigan. You already got your way with that. Don't get carried away. Finish the job at Croke Park and then you'll really get your due. Huge purse as well. But it's up to them anyway. It's up to them. Great win for Chantelle Cameron. It's not like the judges robbed her or anything. No, they gave her the verdict in Ireland. What's not to like?
Fury.